Right. We are live. Welcome everybody to the Sam Crescent Art Show. Checking in on Twitch. Welcome Twitch. Kick coming online on Kick. Let's see. Kick's still not up. YouTube. YouTube live. Yes, welcome YouTube. Let's hit that go live button over on Facebook. Should be live on Facebook any minute. Kick, we are live on Kick now. And here we go. We are now live on Facebook. Welcome to the Sam Crescent Art Show. I am Sam Crescent. I go live every single day. This is a drawing show. This is a show where I work on my comic book strength monsters every day. I do drawing studies, all kinds of things, and I'm going to get right into it. I am working from Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands still. I am now on page 61 of the 182 pages. And in this book, it is literally all hands on deck. Pun intended. No, it's all hands, just drawings of hands. And I've been drawing these hands every day, improving my hands, improving my drawing, doing something, looking at something every day, trying to always get better and warm up with exercises that will help me improve my art. It is today, it is June 4th, 2026. June 4th. We are headed into the summer now. And there's a lot I need to do. I am on the road today. Not yet. Haven't left yet. This is an early morning stream. It is just about 5 minutes to 5 o'clock in the morning. Got the stream up and running before 5 a.m. so I can get it done. This will be the last stream of this week. Typically, I go live every day. However, I will be on the road and I will be unable to go live over the next 3 days. So this will be it until Monday. In the meantime, yes, I'm headed for my home in San Diego, California, where I'm born and raised. And I will be going out to the far off land. No, I'm going to be going out to the desert, out to Phoenix, Arizona. It's just about a 5-hour drive from here where I live. I'll be headed out there, and out there in Phoenix, I will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion. It is literally a fusion of fans that now it's basically the big pop culture convention for the city of Phoenix. It is an amazing show. It's well attended. It takes up the entirety of their convention center there. It is a huge event, extremely popular, and historically always it's generated really strong revenue for me, and I'm really looking forward going out there this year, sharing my work, and enjoying the people in the city of Phoenix. Bring this out a little more forearm there. Now, in this page of Bridgman specifically, we are dealing with a bunch of really kind of abbreviated hand drawings. These are just like quick drawings. It looks like that are done specifically to showcase something. I'll look at the text here and see what he's saying. She just says that the palm review is usually the middle finger that is the most that is found most hooked on account of its greater strength. It is usually the first and little fingers that assume extreme positions on account of their greater flexibility. I'm not really sure what he's showing as far as the text goes here, because what we have here, the way the book's organized, we're looking at the palm view of the hand, and pretty much it. I have been making progress towards getting the traditional art live streams going. I now have my laptop set up in such a way now that I should be able to do it. I just have to now set up the webcam that will go over my drawing table, and then need to set up OBS and everything on the laptop. Once I've done that, I should be good to go. Well, let's see, what are we dealing with here? I think we need a little bit more thumb here. Something like that. That one's, there's not a lot to go on. Kind of a weird one. It's not one I like. I'm not even sure. See if I can figure it out here. Palm hooks. That's better structured. So it is going to be a long and busy day, as I'm going to have to drive quite a distance, and then once I get there, I have to load in. And this, unfortunately, it's not the easiest one to load into. Being that I'm in Artist Alley, I don't believe I get to use the loading docks. Now, if I could use the loading dock, I don't need to even use the guys that load me in from the loading docks. But if I could use the loading docks, I can get in there very quickly. The loading's very quick. If I have to cart, it is a brutal it is pretty brutal carting. Let's go to the next one. That one is not a very good one, but let's see what we can get from here. The live stream's going to be shorter today. Probably only going to be able to go for about an hour, because I've got to take care of all the last minute odds and ends before I can hit the road. And I don't mind the drive too much, though. It's not a bad drive. I very much enjoy the desert. It's one of my favorite ecosystems. So that's not really going to be a big deal. This one is a much better posed hand. There we go. That one's much better. Let's continue. Going to go to the next page. Page 62. And we've got a bunch of different hands on this page. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different hands. I'm not going to be able to do all of them, but let's do today. But let's get some of these done. This is kind of thumb side palm view of the hand. These ones are in a very similar position. Let's see if I can just get a trajectory going here for it. So I usually just try to get a gesture or a trajectory going of where my drawing's headed first. And then I just draw right over the top. And I don't worry about it. Those extra lines, they don't bother me. A lot of times, just keep them. Just let them stay in there. And just let it be part of the piece. So we have the drawing is, I don't know, is it my favorite discipline? I don't know. It's one of the most important. It's one that I want to work every day. I do think I've been spending too much time looking at things and drawing them, and not enough time memorizing things and drawing them. So that's something that I will start doing. But there is a fair amount of this that is carrying over. It's way too high. Look at this angle. Right there. Proportions are off. There's a certain amount of this that does carry over to the comic book art, where I am drawing from memory, where I'm drawing from what I can recall. Let's see here. Trying to get this correct. I'm going to work the other way. Let's go with, get the tip of this finger in first. And we'll work our way back to where it goes. I did a fair amount of preparation for this show. So I'm as ready as I can be for it. Much better than last year. Last year I was very ill prepared. It was still successful for me. But this year I've much better prepared for Phoenix. Last year I rolled my ankle really bad trying to load in. And I almost just wanted to pull out of the show and not even go. It was just it gets very overwhelming. But didn't do that. Stayed with it. Phoenix is made my son come and help me last year because of my foot. And it worked out just fine. Look at the angle here. It's slightly there. Just looking at angles between tips of fingers and such to get placement right. And it's not exactly the same as Bridgman's, but it's close enough. Close enough. There. Okay, interesting here. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get out there to Phoenix by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon so that I'll have plenty of time to set up, as the show is an all-day show on set a Friday. It's basically all day, three days all day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's long. It is a grinder of a show. Absolute grinder. And but we'll get through it. Let's get this bad boy rendered up here. Bit of rendering on here to kind of show the form turning. I very much like it. And that's pretty much the hand. It could be a little bit there, better there. Just kind of get this together more. But we're looking pretty good, and finishing off this hand, not bad. So thicken that out a little bit. Bring that out maybe a little bit. Pull that down. All right, let's do one more here. Do one more. Let's onion skin this. Before we go, let's take this one, copy it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll paste like 5 frames of that. Put down a new one. And let's see here. We have the hand comes here and extends back. Trajectory. I'm going to turn off the onion skin in a minute. Let's turn this off so it doesn't interfere with what I'm looking at now. There's bulges up there. If I look at this, it's here. It's here. Here. Boy, that's a complicated freaking thing. All right. Let's see if we can get this in. Let's get the thumb, and we'll use it. I've been using the thumb kind of as the anchoring point for these drawings here. Pull that. Let's pull that. I'm actually going to re-evaluate those lines. my wife's my wife's grandmother used to have a place out in Yuma, Arizona. They would go to in the winter. So they lived in a colder climate area year round, or the rest of the year. So they would go there like basically kind of like November to the spring. So they'd be in a nice climate all winter long. And then they'd go back to Washington State. And they'd be there basically the spring and summer and early fall. And we used to go out there multiple times a year and visit them when they lived there. And those trips were a great deal of fun. We very much enjoyed them, doing them. And so I have all these memories, though. My children were small then. They were little kids. And they're not little kids anymore. They're all kind of grown up now. But because of that, I have all these memories of taking my children, my small children, out there and spending time with them. And it's really nostalgic for me, kind of. So whenever I'm gonna drive through whenever I drive through there, it just kind of like brings back those memories, a lot of happy memories of time that I spent with my family. And sometimes, though, I kind of wish, I wish we could still do that together, because those were such fun times. But the only thing that we can guarantee is change, and things are gonna continue to change, and that is the adventure of life. If everything stayed the same, it would be, a lot of people like things to be the same, not to change. There's a level of comfort with that. Um, it's comfortable when things stay the way they always are, but the guarantee is that they will not. And so you always need to kind of be planning that way, that whatever it is, your business, your job, all of it, it's not going to just stay the way it is. It's going to be in a state of perpetual change. It's just kind of the way it is. And I don't really have an opinion that it's good or bad, that everything's always changing. But a friend of mine put up a video about, it's interesting, I was talking the other day about how the late 1990s, early 2000s internet was so much, in many respects, better than the internet of now. And specifically, I was stating about how the internet that we have today is it's very centralized now. It's very monopolized. And all the websites have turned into, business websites and websites for different kind of cool things and everything. They've all turned into landing pages. So pretty much everything's a landing page, and it kind of sucks. The landing page website's kind of boring. It's just long copy, same thing. It's that Dan Kennedy slop. I call it Dan Kennedy because Dan Kennedy is kind of the father of direct response marketing and all of those landing pages. That's all based on Dan Kennedy's marketing framework. And they took what he was mailing out as for like direct mailers and stuff to people's mailboxes and just turned it into websites. Websites that you can then serve to people via ads. And if they're interested in the subject matter, people would go to those sites. And his hand is a lot bigger. Let's just kind of shrink it down a little bit. Let's see here. In the hopes that they'll buy something or whatever. But that was one of the things. But this guy's video pointed out a lot more. But this video this guy put up. Wrist is maybe a little bit too much here. That. Let's copy this. Let me see what this looks like here. Huh? Pretty weird. All right, let's move on. We've been live for 27 minutes. For this page, I think we are done. All I've got to do is, I was going to fix these rocks today so that it looks like he's ascending. So let's do that. We are panel 7 right there. What do we have here? Panel 5. 4. What is this? 6. Okay, let's delete that mask. 2, 1. Where is panel 3? Oh yeah, I can move. Let's move 2 up a little bit. I'll move it up over just a tad there. And let's drop it. Well, we'll keep it there for now. Turn off the original sketch. We don't need it. And let's actually put it underneath panel 1. Where's panel 1 background? Panel 3. Oh, it's right here. I want to kind of put panel 2 there, so we've got those bushes coming up there. Now we'll go with rocking. Panel 3. And we're going to place him here. And he's got to be behind. Yes. He's got to be behind panel 2. So we're going to select this one. This one. What's going on? Select everything, man. She's going to be behind that, so we're going to put a mask on him. What the hell is this? Right here. think we have to use this. There we go. Oh, so there we go. Got that. Let's go. Now for panel 3, I could extend that or I could crop it. So if I cropped it, we're going to go with the marquee. We would go here. Huh. This is the right guy, yeah. Gotta hit this one. Yeah, I like that better. And then this one here, we're gonna crop here as well. Okay, so that's there, nice and tight. I wouldn't mind if these were up here a little bit more. Right there. A little better. Like that more. Okay. Now, this guy is panel 4. Let's move him. Maybe we'll just put him up here. Put him right here. Okay. Now we've got something happening here. We're going to move the robot here. Oops, let's move him up a little bit. And now we've got panel 5 here. Just this guy. I'll stick him right there. Really, he'd be there. If I could put it anywhere I wanted, it would go there. So let's just do that first. And then we'll move it. And then 6. Should be the robot. Let me get the robot up a little bit more here. And then we need to move this one so he's not cropping. Put him here. And then we'll move, yes, these two guys. Oops. I want to move these two guys. Stick them about there. I want to put them dead there because I want to make sure they have enough breathing room here. So we're going to have to move him. Yes. Is this 4? No, this is 5. Going to move him over just a tad. That. And get these guys over here so that works. That arrangement's pretty decent. Now, we want to redo these rocks, which is where? Down at the top, panel 7. And so collapse that. We'll expand panel 7. And it's the pipe. There we are. So, to fix these rocks here, let's just turn off that. let's erase these because they look like it's stepping down. And we want them to step up. Pen shouldn't take us too long. Definitely want to be able to finish this before the end of the day. Yeah, make sure we are on that. Make sure we're on that. All right, here we go. Let's see here. There's a little bit of overlap here. Let me see what we can design. Just kind of got to get a trajectory for how we can kind of design something here. It's going to look like your rocks are still coming up at us. I think that will do it. So just want to try to get some of the, I try to design my rocks by starting with the shadow shape and then figuring out from there what's what. Maybe a crack there. Something here like that. There. There we go. Now that looks like these are coming up at us. So it didn't take long to kind of correct this. Put a little bit of line weights into this. There we go. Now it looks like it's coming towards us more. And then we'll just get a little bit of texture, you know, here, kind of describing the form of these things. You just climbing this rock wall, and that's basically all we got to do. Pretty simple. So get this in here. All right, that's good. Let's go to the flat layer. And we're going to marquee this out. There we go. So see, now it looks more like he's climbing up to us, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's turn this layer back on. And this page is done. So finished another page this week, which is great. At least the line art. Still have to flat it, color it, and all that, but making our way towards the end of the story here. All right, I'm going to switch over to Photoshop because we're going to work on coloring the pages that we've been doing yesterday. Let me get Photoshop open. And let's go over here and... All right, here we go. So this one, I've been working on finishing it, the coloring. And what we got to do now is, or what I want to do is get this thing here. So this is going to be a background like that. So let's take off the texture, this stuff. Let's see what we have here. We've got... All right, I want to kind of emulate what this was. So it's going to paint this in. So I'm going to go with a white first, or whatever this color is. And we're going to select this. We'll just do it down here. We'll make a new layer. And let's take a soft brush here. Put this in. Oh, forgot to select this one. Okay, so something like that. Then I'm gonna go with this here. And that's about it. Don't really need to do anything else. There's a yellow in there. Too much. So let's go to the yellow. Let's get that yellow in there. Yeah, 20% maybe. All right, now we've got that kind of yellow there. A little bit through here. There. Get some under here. That's it. So we've got the whatever this is, background P 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm gonna put some texture on this, and I'll go up to my texture layer, my dark texture layer. We're gonna get a red, some magnitude. Grab a textured brush here. Okay, that works. And let's see here. Kind of not what I want. Let's see what it looks like if I just put it on. Let's go really red. Kind of like that. Delineating that something's happening here. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Kind of integrate it a little bit more. Looks better. Pushed in there. You see how we kind of have that red coming out of there. I don't know what I'm going for with it. That's it. I think that's cool. So that takes care of that. So basically, all of this is happening in the mind of Baby Monkey. You know, this is all stuff he's thinking about doing. Now I've got this guy running off, and Gonna add a little bit to here. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Let me see here. Gonna see if I could recycle this background. Potentially recycle this background for down there. I don't know. See what we end up with. Boy, there's like a million things that you can select, which is kind of annoying. Might have been a little overkill with the flatting on this page here. Holy cow, man. How many freaking things are there? Get this thing, man. Come on, man. The number of things that are freaking selectable here is insanity. Oh my gosh. All right. So we got the whole background area selected. Let's go edit, copy merged. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Doesn't really work. Hmm. What's going on with this? Let's put it up at the top, see what we got here. I don't understand. Why is this like not moving around like it's supposed to? What is this, man? Let's see, is there something going on with my keyboard stopped working or something? What is going on? Okay. All right. For some reason, like my transform tool stopped working. All right, so let me see here. If we put this here, we got to put it behind these guys. And if we put it somewhere about there, I don't know. I don't think it's usable. I'm going to use a background from a different page. So for this background, I'm going to drop in something from another page in the future. So until I get to that page, let's just take these guys, render them a little bit, and then we got to move on. So one is, I don't know what this is. I don't understand why that's that color. It should be there. And then delete off whatever it is. Put this on with this guy. Too much. That's how that's supposed to go. I'm not sure why that was that color. All right, now let's get these guys selected. And of course, they have a million selectable areas, which makes it more difficult to select. Probably could have selected outside them and inversed it, and it would have been faster. Holy cow. All right, I think everything is selected here. Okay, there was something else here. In there. All right. Let's go to my rendering. I just want to get these brushes here. I just want to kind of unify these guys a little bit. Unify their shadows with this texture brush. Pull it all together. Try and make it so they don't have so many high and low spots. I'm going to fix that too in a minute. Okay, so we got that. Let's go to the light texture. Let's see what it does. That's good. Now we just got an overall light and dark pattern going over these guys. That looks pretty cool. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm going to turn off the rendering, go to the flats. go. Now we can see his hands. His hand more. There. Looks more like the others. Let's see this guy's foot here too. Okay, cool. That's it. Save that. All right, this page is done until I get a background that I can put in right there. And I don't think I love that, so let's go to where that is here. Just gonna blend that through. There we go. I like that more. Now it's like distracting me having that interrupt that other panel. I'm not even sure how much I cared. Yeah, we'll kind of keep that on there. It kind of delineates that this guy's getting jacked up. All right, so this page is done for now until we drop in the background. The police station. So for the police station, we did color holds yesterday. We're going to do some splatter effect here. Yeah, let's get a splatter brush. Try this one. We'll go with a blue color. Like that. I turn off my noise. There we go. Make a layer for it to multiply. Did I just do something that would change the angle of this? I would like to change the angle here, but let's see here. Shift. It's not. Point of this is just to add a little bit more texture variation to the sidewalk. See how this one is. Maybe this one's better. Be a little better here. Get this kind of on the brick building a little bit. Something on that roof there. Here. Some stuff there and there. Okay. Now let's just knock all this down so it's just integrated into our background and reads as more of a texture. We want it to read as color variants in the bricks and such, and not as somebody just splattered ink on this. I think that's gonna work there. We don't want any of it on these lights. Let's just make sure there's no splatter over the top of our lights. Make another layer. Yeah, we want to multiply this here. That's pretty cool. All right, that's cool. And then we turn the noise back on. and it integrates everything even further. You don't really even notice it much. So maybe I should do just one more layer here with the that's looking pretty cool. Okay, so now let's see if I can fix the perspective on this police car. If I go here and I go wand, then I go selection inverse, and we just kind of like go J. And then selection inverse. And we got those two. Um, one we don't need. What is the what is this? Don't know what that is. Might be nothing. Put them in a layer. What's going on here? Edit, transform, image. Well, oh, we'll make sure to unlock that. Okay. Image, transform, perspective. Let's see if we can kind of skew this thing now so it's in the closer perspective as the no. So this is where we were. If I just do that, I'll drop that down a little bit though. Drop that down a little bit. Put that there. Edit, transform, distort. Kind of do this. I feel like that's pretty close. I think that's going to be as good as it's going to get. Just make it big enough so it covers the old police car. I mean, that's too big. Let me see if it's any better. Yeah, so see how the perspective is changed. Old car, new car. I forgot to make a copy of my line art. So I'm going to save this as version 2. But overall, that perspective is correct. The correct perspective is more what we'd see. So we're going to go with it. And what I can do is, let's give this line art a color hold. Just a really dark kind of bluish gray. And see if that kind of helps integrate this a little bit more into the environment. It doesn't look so pasted in. I do this. There we go. That's looking pretty slick there. I dig it. This one's done for Zombie Command. There's one more thing I could do actually. Let's do it. Let's go here. And there. So it's just gonna be like this kind of. Yeah, we'll just go here, here. Oops. Apparently I just put that on the wrong layer. There we go. Yeah, now it's got a little bit of a ground shadow under it. I can make it cast more of a shadow off this way. I mean, if we wanted to follow more logic, we could go see what it looks like if I go here. I don't know that I want to do that though. We'll just see. That's all right. I don't mind it. If I do it there, oops, we want to go there. get like a shadow there. I'm gonna just soften it because I don't have a perfect. Well, let's just use the right tool and get a perfect hard line, because truth of the matter is you're gonna have step, 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 step here, 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 here. And then we want to switch to a freehand. We'll remove this area from the selection. Darken that. Take that out. There we go. Now we've got the stairs following the same logic as the police car. But then, like, we would want to go, we keep building, I mean, we can keep building this forever. But we want to put something here. And here. All right. Now, if I wanted to, I could start coming in here with the brush and just manually putting in some more dark kind of textures and details around these bricks. And so you can literally just build these things. You could build this up for, I mean, I could work this for another 10, 12, 15 hours and just build it and build it and build it into a full painting. But at some point, you know, for this project, you know, we have to kind of ask the question is, how far do we want to go with this stuff? Like, how far should I take this drawing, you know, before it's, and call it a day, you know, or am I going to spend another 20 hours rendering this thing even further? It would be cool, but for this project specifically, I've got to produce 20 of these backgrounds like this. And so if I take, you know, another 15 hours rendering this, that's, you know, a good chunk of a work week. And it's going to be a very long time. You know, if you do 40-hour work week, which I do much more than that, but let's say you did even a, you know, if you did an 80-hour work week and I spend another 15 hours rendering these out, that's going to put, you know, that's 4 per day. You could probably do 4 per day, given that you don't get mentally exhausted from doing it, which you would. A lot of, I mean, I know a lot of artists, it's like they have a cap. It's like 6 hours and they've got to stop because their brain just starts fatiguing too much. I mean, these morning lives are usually around 3 hours and my brain's pretty fried and I've got to take a break. Today I got to end it soon because I've got to finish getting ready for the trip. So I am going to stop. I think we've done enough on this piece. Because you could literally do the opposite. I could, with this same color, I go here and I can just add an add layer. And now I'm on the opposite side, and I can render in, and I'll adjust this. I'll adjust it in a minute, but we could render in highlights around from the effect of the lamps. Let's do that a little bit here. And now we're popping things out, and we're making this thing even more painterly and more cool. And it's kind of adding a cool blue highlight integrated in with the yellows. Stick one there and there. I mean, wherever you want to just see, like, wherever you see there being a lot of light hitting. And what we'll do is we'll just knock the opacity down a little bit. So see there, 78, kind of more integrated in. About there, and it's very subtle, but so you don't notice it, but then when I turn it off and on, you're like, oh yeah, there's a lot of things that are, highlighted now. And we could even get some of these roof tiles here. And what I'll do with these is I'll take my soft brush and just hit these so they are knocked in a little bit more. But we're like, oh yeah, some of these roofs, we have some of it in there already, but we're going to add even more, make it, more spots on the roof that are picking up the light, mixing in more colors into the palette. And so I'll just pull this brush through. And there we go. Now it's just kind of integrated in there. I mean, this can be kind of meditative, can be kind of relaxing to just hit these highlights here, just do little simple things, and meanwhile you're pimping out the image, making it look all cool and desirable, So it can be an enjoyable practice doing it until you just get tired of doing it and then you stop. Or until you just reach a point where sometimes you'll reach a point where you're like, okay, no matter, I'm doing more work on this and it's not really improving it more. That's another time where you can know to stop a piece, is when you're like, okay, this thing is either gonna, if I keep going, it's either gonna get worse or it's just not gonna make any more improvement on it, and I'm just wasting my effort, my time, and could be getting another piece done. But yeah, of the 20 backgrounds, I think I've got half of them fully finished, and I've got most of them, the basic colors dropped in. Got to draw 2 still, so I got to put together 2 more of them, and we'll have all these background cards ready. I'm gonna stop there. That's a great, cool freaking police station. Looks awesome. Let's save that. That's gonna do it for this live. I've got to stop now. I will be back next week. So that's it for the week. I will be updating on the Instagram. You can look me up there, Sam Crescent Art. I'll be updating the convention there. And that's all. See you real soon. See you next week.